Hey friends, welcome back to Little Town Homestead. My name's Allison. I'm glad you're here. What I'm going to show you today is how to start clabbered cheese. Now, the way I make my clabbered cheese is it comes out more like a feta cheese, which we love feta cheese on our salads and sandwiches. It is so tasty. So just stick around and I'll show you how to do this. So to make our starter, I got my fresh cow's milk. It was milked on the 22nd, so yesterday. I just got the cream off the top. I like to take the cream off because if you leave it on, it doesn't make cheese. It just stays at the top and it's kind of a wasted cream. So I like to take the cream off, but you technically could make this with the cream on. So I got my milk. I got a very half pint mason jar, and this one I'm going to use to make my starter. So I like to use small jars to start off with so that whenever I go to make cheese, I can just take a little bit out of this starter, because I'm not going to make cheese out of this starter. I'm just using it as a starter. So I'll take a couple tablespoons out of this, and then that way a lot of milk doesn't go to waste. I've seen some people that'll put it in quart jars to make their starter, but I just like to start small with the starter to save your milk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my measuring cup and I'm going to get some of this milk out. And I'm going to fill my jar for the starter up. You could even start off with less than this if you wanted. And a smaller jar if you wanted, whatever you want. So I got it in here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my jar lid on. And this is a used lid, so you don't have to use new lids for this, just as long as it's nice and clean. And I'm going to put this in my kitchen where the temperature doesn't really fluctuate. And what I like to do to keep the sun from hitting it, because it's okay if it gets some sunlight, but you kind of want to keep it in a dark, cool place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap a paper towel around this, and I'm going to stick it in this corner of my kitchen where not much sun gets to it and the temperature doesn't fluctuate very much. Then in about 3 to 5 days, once it starts getting kind of chunky and it comes into like a yogurt consistency, then I will know that it is ready to start using in cheese. And then I'll take about 2 tablespoons of this, put it in about a quart to half a gallon of raw milk, and then I will let that sit for about a day or two, depending on how long it takes. It'll take a lot less longer than this starter will take. And then I'll turn the cheese and I'll take you along and show you what that looks like. But for now, here's our starter, and I'll see you back in a few days. Hey friends, so our clabbered cheese starter is done. It took about 5 or 6 days on my countertop to form what it needed to be. It took so long because my house AC's on, so it's pretty cool in here. So here's what it looks like. It's still got some liquid in it, but you can obviously tell there's chunks. And you want it to be chunky like that. It'll be almost like a yogurt consistency. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our starter, grab half a gallon of raw milk and a spoon, and we're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of the starter in the raw milk, and that'll start your clabbered cheese. So let's get going. Alright, so I got my milk and I got my starter. The yellow on the top is cream, so that's why we took the cream out of there, because it's just floating there. It didn't make the starter. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our spoon. Okay guys, since we have our starter in our raw milk, now what we're gonna do is put a lid on it. And I'm gonna take my cotton dish towel. I'm just gonna wrap it around it and put it in a spot in my kitchen where the temperature doesn't change much and it doesn't get too much sunlight. And then in about 1 to 3 days, depending on how strong your starter is, you will have clabbered cheese. So I'll see you in a couple days. Hey friends, so we need to finish up our clabbered cheese. So it has been hanging for about 2 days, maybe 2.5 days technically. And it is good to go. I squeezed it, as you saw earlier, to get any extra liquid out, and then I moved it around so that it would move the dry and let the wet part of it be exposed and all that stuff. It is going to be a little wet, but it is cheese and it's clabbered cheese, but I like to use it as feta cheese. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a tight container. Okay, and I'm just going to take my bag of clabbered cheese. I'm going to open it up and dump it straight into our container. Alright, and this is our clabbered cheese. You can do other things with this if you like, but we just like to leave it like this. It is very tasty on a sandwich. And I just do this to kind of loosen up the big chunks. Alright, there we go. So here's our final product from 1/2 gallon of raw cow's milk. I'm just gonna seal this up, stick it in the fridge, and we will be good to go for some sandwiches. This will stay good for probably about a week, or at least it has for me. And all you gotta do to your cheesecloth bag is I'm gonna rinse it out, inside and out, and then I'm gonna let it soak and soapy water, and then I will wash it with soapy water by hand and let it dry over my sink. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like if you did, and we hope to see you soon on Little Town Homestead. Have a blessed day. Bye.